Look, Campfire Cooking in Another World is a ridiculous isekai anime. Period. And by ridiculous, I mean ridiculously good. Though if you were like me, you may have been fooled by the silly description at first. Diving into this show revealed a series filled with hilarious feel-good moments that kept you coming back for more. With the first season coming to a close, I think it's only appropriate that we go over its top moments. But before we go any further, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. If you love anime analysis, recommendations, and breakdowns, then this channel is the place for you. Also, this video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't finished season 1 yet, I recommend you go and do that. I've got a pretty much spoiler-free overview of what makes this series a must-watch in the pinned comment below, so be sure to check that out. Now, with all that being said, let's talk about it. Coming in at number 10, the teens Makoto was summoned with, wondering what happened to him. At the end of one of the episodes, we get a scene of the teens sitting around a campfire cooking a very mid-looking meal. As they sit and reminisce about their experiences in this new world so far, their conversation turns towards the salaryman they were summoned with. The teens wonder how he's doing, and if he's even managed to survive with the mediocre power that he received at their summoning. This is hilarious for so many reasons because while the group has a relatively good-natured laugh at Makoto's perceived lack of power and small chance of survival, we the audience know that at this point, Makoto has become very, very OP, and is arguably one of the most powerful figures in those lands at that point. Add that to the fact that he and his party enjoy delicious meals on the daily as a result of the online grocery power that they find so ridiculous, and we're left with an excellent payoff moment. Number 9. Makoto amasses a fortune. Makoto's wealth growing to obscene levels over the course of the series is beyond satisfying for a variety of reasons. Isekai is a genre of wish fulfillment at its core. The only thing that would be better than being summoned to another world and becoming extremely overpowered is becoming insanely rich in the process. The fact that the insane wealth that Makoto has accumulated is largely due to Fell wanting to eat meats he considers to be delicious, and happen to come from some insanely rare and powerful creatures, literally provides us with laugh out loud moment after laugh out loud moment. Makoto himself being freaked out by just how wealthy he's become in such a short amount of time is just the icing on the cake. Coming in at number 8, Makoto's interaction with the merchant and his wife. One of the things I love about any series is seeing our main characters grow and build fruitful relationships with other characters that they come across. Not only does this add to the character development of our protagonist, but this can usually serve to further add layers to the story itself. In the case of Makoto, the merchant, and his wife, this is highlighted spectacularly. Makoto giving modern hair, skincare, and bath products to the merchant to sample, only for both him and his wife to absolutely fall in love with them, is hilarious. Not only does this get us laughing as an audience, but it also continues to demonstrate just how useful of an ability online grocery is. Up until that point, the focus had been primarily on the food items Makoto can provide to his party, and those lucky enough to eat with him. By having Makoto offer various beauty products, however, the story lets us know another fact in a very clever manner. A fact that can be often overlooked in a series like this. In what is essentially a medieval fantasy setting, the same way basic sauces and food preparation methods that are common in the modern setting can appear to be 5-star restaurant level, the same can be said about the most basic of beauty and bath products. In a fantasy setting, even bargain store level hair and beauty products can be absolutely revolutionary compared to what people have access to. It also gets you thinking, what other sort of run-of-the-mill day-to-day products that we take for granted could end up being insanely valuable in a fantasy setting? The fact that the merchant loved the products just as much as his wife was yet again another laugh out loud moment. Number 7, Makoto realizing that expensive food items from online grocery power up his familiars too much. The power and utility that online grocery provides is something that is alluded to early on in the story. As Makoto is traveling with the first adventurers party that he hired, he notices something. When a skirmish occurs after the first meal they share, Makoto, once again showing his keen attention to detail, picks up on the comments being made by the adventurers. They mention feeling stronger, abilities flowing easier. I'm paraphrasing, but you get the point. Makoto then pulls up his detail screen and notices that all of their stats have been boosted by his otherworldly meals. Realizing the ramifications of an ability like this, Makoto wisely keeps this fact to himself. This on its own would have been insanely useful, but the author adds a clever layer to this ability. While all otherworldly food can boost stats, the more high quality the food item, the higher the boost. We see this fact in all its glory after Makoto and Fell share a celebratory meal of Wagyu steak. The already superpowered Fell gets a power boost that takes him to godlike levels and goes on an unstoppable Wagyu-fueled rampage. Once again, Makoto realizing just how powerful of an ability online grocery is, and the threat it could pose to his desire for an easy and peaceful life, is hilarious. Alright, coming in at number 6, Makoto's interactions with the Adventurers Guild. Look, what makes these interactions some of the series' top moments for me is the fact that it really serves to highlight even further just how ridiculously strong Makoto and his party are. Bella and Sui routinely wipe out creatures that are insanely rare and powerful. They do it with such ease that we the audience, just like Makoto, don't think much of it. However, seeing the looks on the faces of the people that work at the guild when Makoto goes to drop these monsters off is freaking priceless. Some of these creatures being so rare and valuable that the guild literally can't afford to exchange them for him. At times I'm like, bruh, what? To me, this is a gagging formula that never gets old. Oh, we have this super rare and powerful magical creature. Fel thinks that they taste good, or it'd be fun to fight. Not a challenge at all, but fun. Fel wipes them out. Makoto takes them to the guild. The guild is shocked and either pays him an obscene amount of money or lets him know, sorry bro, can't do it. This is literally the gift that keeps on giving and serves to constantly remind us, the audience, that Makoto and company are insanely powerful in a way that just isn't common in this world. Number 5. Makoto finesses his way out of the kingdom that summoned him. Though it occurs early in the first episode, this is easily one of my top moments from season 1 as a whole. Why is that? One of the biggest things that makes for a great main character to me is competence. This moment highlights this character trait in Makoto right out of the gate. Makoto being able to figure out quickly that something isn't adding up about the story the rulers of the kingdom are feeding them is an A+ big brain moment that lets us, the audience, know just how good of a head Makoto has on his shoulders. Makoto may be pretty easygoing and risk averse, but he's not a fool. As I've said in other videos, Makoto is a character that at its core possesses a great deal of common sense. Being beholden to nobles or rulers that he knows nothing about just isn't a good idea. He's able to put 2 and 2 together and devise a way to get himself out of an unfavorable situation, all while he would have still been reeling from the fact that he's just been summoned to another world. Makoto is a character that is able to see and weigh the potential implications of the situations he finds himself in. This is an ongoing theme throughout season 1, and I imagine it will continue to be so. Makoto is a good judge of character, and is more than aware of the fact that the more powerful he gets, the more people in power may want to use him to their benefit. Does that sound like an easy and peaceful life? Nah, not really. As another character would say, sounds troublesome. Next up, number 4. Makoto cooking literally anything. One of the best parts of Campfire Cooking in Another World is literally just that, watching Makoto cook some truly fire-looking meals. Look man, Makoto must have been a serious foodie in his normal life because his knowledge of how to cook and prepare various dishes might as well be another superpower at this point. I remember sitting back at one point and literally going, how does he know how to cook all this stuff, man? When it comes to the cooking aspect of the show, Campfire Cooking reaches almost Food Wars level goodness in my opinion. But if you're like me, then you can't help but be excited whenever Makoto whips out his cooking items, the meat of the day, and decides on a dish to prepare. More than that, I can't help but feel that the author of the story has a serious passion for food, and that love is on display in every episode. I think we can all agree that a good meal is one of life's simple pleasures, and the only thing better than a fire meal is a fire meal shared with your friends and loved ones. Campfire Cooking captures the essence of this perfectly and manages to make the cooking aspect one of the series' biggest draws. Alright, coming in at number 3, Makoto meets the goddesses. From Makoto's first meeting with Ninrir to his later meeting with all 4 goddesses, some of the funniest moments that the series has had to offer have come from these interactions. I mean, think about it. The demand for the otherworldly goods that Makoto can provide has literally reached godlike proportions. Like bruh, it literally gets a laugh out of me every time that I think about it. Ninrir, Agni, Kasharli, and Rusalka were an instant hit with me, not only because their individual demands for otherworldly goods in exchange for blessings are hilarious, but because their interactions with each other are even funnier. Ninrir's frantic attempts to keep her source of sweets a secret only to be caught was epic. The other goddesses powering up our already superpowered main character even further to get in on the action was even better. The fact that Makoto actively tries to get out of receiving further blessings because it would make him look too powerful if someone were to actually check his stats, coupled with the fact that the goddesses themselves admit they can't think of anyone ever receiving the blessings of all 4, God tier moment. And we all know that there's more moments like these coming. Alright, coming in at number 2, Makoto meets Fel. It goes without saying, but Makoto meeting Fel is the catalyst that really gets Makoto and the series as a whole up and running. More than that though, Makoto and Fel's relationship really highlights just how absurd, like the name of the series suggests, their meeting is. Look man, how often do you see an insanely powerful character like Fel the Fenrir attach himself to a main character? Fairly often. That's a fairly common fiction trope. What's not common is the fact that Fel is a complete glutton and makes himself Makoto's familiar for no other reason than he wants to maintain his access to Makoto's cooking and ensure that nothing happens to him. Fel is a complete juggernaut, and he knows it. He's literally a mythical creature spoken about in legends, but the lengths he'll go to taste new and delicious meals prepared by Makoto is once again hilarious. Fel will routinely body insanely powerful and rare creatures for no other reason than their meat is delicious, and he wants Makoto to work his cooking magic with them. In addition to all that, there's a clear bond that continues to grow between him and Makoto as the series progresses, and that's something that we the audience can enjoy. Watching him, Makoto, and Sui bond over their various meals provides countless heartfelt moments that keep the laughs coming. Alright, and coming in at number 1, Makoto meets Sui. Look, Sui is my favorite character at this point in the series, hands down. To me, there just isn't anything not to love about our super powered, super foodie, battle junkie slime. Sui is adorable, and everything about her is geared towards that. There's this wonderful innocence to the character that really draws you in. From her deep and obvious love of both Makoto and Fel, her absolute delight in trying various new foods and drinks, to her being a complete battle junkie that can dead hordes of opponents with ease, Sui is awesome. Sui is that lovable little sister or daughter that we all wish we had, and it's clear that Makoto and Fel feel the same way. Some of the most hilarious moments in the series come from each of them trying to persuade Sui to their side in an argument about what to do next, knowing that the other won't be able to tell her no. I love this character. Her complete joy and childlike fascination with trying new things, coupled with her complete fearlessness and love of battle, are a fun dichotomy that I literally can't get enough of. Look, by this point it goes without saying, Season 1 of Campfire Cooking in Another World was complete fire. This series was a sleeper hit that I almost passed up on, and I'm very, very happy I gave it a try. At this point, if you're like me, you're eagerly waiting for news of a second season that we're all sure is coming. In the meantime, if you made it this far, hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on the latest news, and leave a comment below letting us know what your favorite moments from Season 1 were. I'll catch you on the next one.